All right, so this is going to be the projectile video analysis summary lab and going through how to go and get a file into Logger Pro and then do the video analysis associated with that. So within Blackboard, and I'll actually, just for kicks, pull up Blackboard real quick. Within Blackboard, you're actually going to have under projectile motion, so you get under our file, go into projectile motion, there's going to be a projectile video analysis summative lab folder. Click on there, and in here you're going to find your expectations. Also, this video will be down there then after I get this all embedded into there. So that's where you're going to click on this expectation sheet, and you should be able at that point look at the file, which is exactly what you see up here, this video file. One of the things you note that you'll see on here is that there are very clear expectations of what your email subject should look like. So you're going to say Hour 3 Projectile Video Lab, Voigt and Hughes, or whatever your names are, and have that be the email subject. In addition then, what you're going to do is you're not only going to go through and do a write-up here, you're also going to be responsible for actually taking your Logger Pro videos, or your analysis within Logger Pro. Take your files, save them on your H drive, and then go and email them to me in that same email. So in the email that you send me, and you have to send this to me by December 20th at midnight, so by Thursday at midnight, I want you to have this email subject and 3 attachments. One's going to be your lab write-up, and then the 2 Logger profiles that you're going to be working with. And all the explanations are in here of what you should expect. If you have any questions about what the expectations are, let me know. All right, so this is how it works. You're going to open up Logger Pro. And actually, by this point, I'd expect you to, within your email, have gone through and downloaded your videos, the ones that we took from the gym. Download those 2 videos into your H drive so that when you open up Logger Pro, you're able to open up those files right away. So you open up Logger Pro, then you're going to go Insert Movie. Once you insert your movie, you're going to go and go to your H drive. So yours is going to look a little different than this. Go go to your H drive. And then what I'd like you to do is go through and actually find that file, the first file. So I'm going to actually bring in my cart launcher video. And you can see it right away. It pops up in the videos in here. If you hit play, so you can hit play first, and you're going to see the whole video. The first thing you're going to want to do is go over to hit the play button, hit stop, and then go frame by frame back to when the first frame of interest is going to be. So in other words, when your launcher first leaves, when the ball first leaves your launcher. So if you're throwing it, when the ball, just after the ball leaves your hand. And that's going to be the first point that you're going to be using. Now, the way it works is over here, these little red dotty dots. If you click on there, that's going to give you your file different tools and features. The first thing you're going to want to do is click over here on this little ruler function. Click on the ruler, and then click and drag over your known object. So remember, when we do this, we want to have a known object length. So for me, it's going to be this cart. I'm going to click and drag, like I said, use the ruler, click and drag over the object of known length. For many of you, it's probably going to be your height. Now I want this in units of meters. So make sure, if you don't know how tall you are in meters, do the conversion using your phone. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say phone. Using the internet. Go how many feet into meters. You're going to, like I said, click and drag on there. And for me, my cart was 0.7 meters, so the unit should be M. Now, you're going to want to go over here and click on the Set Origin button. Set Origin is the one that looks like a little green with a little white dot. I like to set my origin right where the ball first is going to be moving. So I like starting it out right where it is. And you see when you click on the origin then, you get these axes. If you click on the little dot then, you can actually adjust your axes so that it's going to be horizontal. So what I would do is adjust it so that this line is horizontal with the floor. They're parallel to each other, in other words. They're parallel to the floor. Now, with this, what you're going to want to do is go over here and click on Add Dots or Add Points. click on your first point, and then right away it should move up to the next slide. And you want to be careful about making sure that you're hitting it at a pretty consistent location. Some of you have really big balls that you're throwing around, big objects, and you're going to want to make sure that when you click on it, that you're clicking at a consistent point. So probably the first point, the top point, or the point that's furthest away from the launcher, or something along those lines. So use your little crosshair, do your little dotty action. And it's important that you're precise with this because that slight little adjustment can make your video off. And just as a note, it's important that as you do this, that you actually have a pretty level, stable, a very stable video. So if you don't have a stable video, we might have to go for plan B, but that's okay. So you see it on here. Now, some of you might have a second object that you're going to want to go and work through. So if you want to, you can go backwards to wherever you're looking at. And if you want to do a second object, like for me, for example, if I wanted to go and make the dots for my cart and where my cart was located, you're going to want to go over here to the Set Active Points and go to Add Point Series. And now you'll have a different color, a different kind of graph that you're working with. But many of you won't have that, but some of you might. So now you've set your origin, you've developed your length, you've made all your dots. Now you want to go over to your graphs. Now, the expectations that you have graphs that are going to be for your horizontal position, your horizontal velocity, your vertical position, and your vertical velocity. So for each of these, you're going to want 4 different graphs. So my first graph over here, I'm going to click on X. X represents horizontal. And this is my horizontal position. So I have this horizontal position graph. I'm going to want to take a screenshot of this. This is X versus T, horizontal position versus time. One of the things that you're going to want to do before you do that is click and drag over this. And because it's a line, you're going to want to go up over here to your linear fit. So you're going to want to actually have a linear fit on here. And your linear fit should give you a slope value with your y-intercept. So click on that and then screenshot this. And after you've gone through, you're going to want to go Insert Graph again. And actually, instead of the Insert Graph, why don't you go Insert, go to Page, go to Add Page. That's probably going to be our easiest here. So we're going to want to go through, add a data set. And the way we can do the data set with the graph is click on Copy Current Page. And now on this page, instead of the X, I'm going to click on that axis again. And now I want X velocity. And you'll see that maybe it's not the prettiest of all things, but you can go over here. Notice how your axis is a little weird? You can actually go and zoom this out. And what you'll notice is that if you go and click on this, and you actually go and click on this particular part of your graph, and you bring this to 0. So click over here. There we go. Click on that. There we go. We got our 0 on here. So we have our 0 axis on here. Or so in other words, our axis, our 0 point. And our other velocities down here, they could actually be spread out a little bit more. So we can zoom that out. It doesn't work very well on here, but that's okay. And if you want to actually zoom in and out a little bit or adjust your axes, you can use the little hand. And the little hand should allow you to go and select on when you hit this click and drag. So if you click on have the click and drag, click on that, stretch it out, change your axes by clicking over here on the edge. It should let you edit it. Yours probably will, so try that out again. Click on here, change that. Otherwise, this is okay too. And then what you're going to want to do on here is click and drag over that data and click on, if you want to do a linear fit, or click over here on the statistics. It should give you an average velocity. An average velocity. You're going to go over again, go to page, go to add page again, copy current page again. Now we want to get, instead of our x velocity, we now want to get our y. This is going to be our y position. Notice how I have my shape, my curviness. That's exactly what I want. And you could actually just go and do a screenshot of this one too. So at this point, you should have 3 screenshots. Vertical position versus time as our third one. Y versus t. Go over again to page. Go to add page. Click on copy current page again. And now, instead of the y, you're going to want to do this as a y velocity. This is going to be your vertical velocity. You're going to want to click on those again. And because this is a line, you're going to want to click on that linear, this best fit. This is going to be the linear fit option, so you can get your slope and your y-intercept. Now, with these values, you're going to go through, do screenshots of this, and then put those and copy and paste those into your actual lab write-up. And that should give you a pretty good idea of what you need to do for that. For copying and pasting and getting a screenshot on your PC, there's actually a print screen button. And if you do that, and I believe it's like FN or a command, print screen, and you go and take that, you can go and copy that into Paint, and then select the region you're interested in, and then go copy that picture, and then paste it into your Word document. So that's my suggestion. So as you do this, you should have a couple videos, like I said, 1 video on here, and 4 graphs, and you're going to have 2 separate files. So when you're done with this, you're going to go File, Save As, and this is when you're going to do your hour 2, and then you're going to have click, and then you're going to say video 1, and then period, and then say Voigt and Hughes, or whatever your last names are. Click Save, and then this is what you're going to attach to my email. So, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully this helps. Have a super awesome time working on this. You have some really awesome data here, and I'm excited to see your results.